Hello Sim Racers, Tailback Terrorist here. It's nearly 2021, so happy Christmas and Merry New Year and all of that sort of stuff. Hope you're all having a great time even though we're locked down. This video is about sim racing and cars. If you're not into sim racing and you haven't guessed that it's about sim racing and cars, how did you not guess? They're fucking everywhere, even on my shirt. Cars. This video is inspired by a thread on Race Department, which is a sim racing site, and about Automobilista 2, which is a sim racing simulation, and a debate that I've been having with Pete. If you don't know who Pete is, then you don't watch my channel. So what you'll have to do is hit the subscribe button, subscribe to my channel, and then watch all my videos. Simple as that, innit? You know, won't take you too long, maybe, you know. Anyway, yeah. There's been a bit of a debate going on, and people are all getting really, really gripey and a bit nasty with each other, and I thought, right, okay, I'm going to sort this out. So I've taken 3 of my favourite sims, one of them being Automobilista 2, the other one being Assetto Corsa Competizione, and R-Factor 2. And what I've done is I've very scientifically figured out the 2 huge, shocking differences between the sims. Two main differences there are, and the conclusion, which is one rather large similarity. Because I think the community needs tying together. You know, we all got to stop griping at each other. You know, it's Christmas, it's New Year. So now, like I said, in this, you know, people have been getting very sort of. There's an update coming. People are getting very gripey with each other, and we're, as sim racers, we can all behave like spoiled little brats at times. You know, I've done it. Don't like it. Really angry. I want my update. Give me my update. But you know, we all need to be a bit happier and come together a little bit. So what I've done, I'm quite a jovial sort, but I can be very serious because us sim racers are very serious, you know, and quite anal actually, to be honest, sometimes. So what I've done is I'm going to try and be serious, and I've done this test scientifically and consistently. So what I'm going to do to test the difference is I'm going to take the same car, which is the McLaren, the GT3 McLaren, out at the same track, which is Nürburgring GP, well, not the GP, Nürburgring Vidal or No Chicane or whatever you want to call it. That's in every 3 of those sims. So this car is going to do 3 laps, 3 timed laps, same car, roughly the same setup in each game. And to show you how scientifically I've gone about this, the car in each game, now each game has, the car has traction control and ABS, and there's different levels of that, but each game has their own version on that. So to minimise that difference, in every test, the traction control and ABS are going to be turned off. So it's just going to be the handling of the car without the aids. The braking percentage is going to be 100% braking on the setup in each one. The wheel setup, I'm using a Fanatec Club Sport, is basically I've tuned in the force feedback, so the gain level is the same for each car in each game. So they feel pretty much the same in terms of how strong the force feedback is. And also, yeah, the braking percentage is going to be the same biting point for me, at least, in each game on the wheel. So, and it's going to be 3 time laps, and I'm going to try and figure out the differences in terms of how the car feels in each sim, you know, through the wheel, the physics, what it actually does in the game, the braking where I change gear, and I'm not the best driver in the world, but I can drive a reasonably consistent lap time, he says. So, you know, I'll try and hit all the apexes, and basically I'm going to drive the car as comfortably as I possibly can. So basically my bum cheeks aren't clenching up if I go around the corner a bit too fast. If I'm doing that, then I know I'm not driving consistently, I'm driving at my limit. So I'm just going to try and keep it calm in each one and drive pretty much the same. So, without further ado, oh, by the way, this may take a while, 3 laps, you know, what, say roughly 2 minutes a lap time, that's going to be 6 minutes, and there's going to be the out lap as well. So I don't know, this video might take 30 or 40 minutes. And last time I did a kind of review video, someone on a forum, I won't tell you which one, came on after I posted the video and said, I'm not prepared I haven't got time to sit and watch a man in his bedroom waffling on for 30 minutes. Well, if you haven't got time, fine, skip to the end of the video where the conclusion is. And I could give you a timestamp and tell you where that point is, but I haven't got time to find it yourself. Anyway, here we go. This is the test, scientifically. Right, now, hold your horses. The video isn't going to take that long. Because I did do what I said I was going to do. I went out. In fact, there's me doing it. Look, there's me leaving the pits. Right, I went out. I did 3 laps in each sim. Well, 4, including the out lap. Very consistently. You know, I was driving like a G. as well as I can. And I did it all. And I got all the footage. It's all here on my computer. But then, after I'd finished, I realised OBS hadn't captured the R factor footage. And there's quite a lot of it. It was going to be really long. And so I've lost all that. And now, because I've got to go and do stuff with my folks, because it's Christmas, sorry, because it's New Year's, we've got to do New Year's stuff for New Year's Eve, I haven't got time. So, basically, I did it all. I did the 3 laps, and what I found is quite shocking, okay? What I found was, apart from slight differences in the force feedback, subtleties in the way the back end of the car felt, aero, the biggest 2 differences I found out, number one, braking. The braking in R Factor 2 and the braking in AMS 2 are very similar. You know, there's quite a large margin. You've got grip, then you get to the edge of grip when you're braking and the tyres start to squeal and start to tug a little bit. And then there's this kind of a margin before you've completely locked up. And then when you're locked up, you know, you're skidding. Now in AMS2, you get to the edge of brakes. In ACC, you get to the edge of the braking. Right, so where's your tyres are starting to squeal. And then you've got about this much space before you're skidding and you're locked up. In fact, what I found was that my lap times were... in R Factor 2 and AMS 2 were 157s around here, give or take a few hundredths of a second. And then in ACC, same track, same car, same conditions, ABS and everything turned off, they were 2 minutes 4. So, big difference there, big difference. But that's not the point. The point is, and I'll tell you the other big difference in a minute, the point I found was, everyone, is that there are millions more similarities between these 3 sims. These modern sims these days, the more realistic they get, the more similar they are. Okay? So, if I was to do a video on all of the similarities rather than the differences between them all, you'd be watching it for a year. Okay? So, two major differences. Now, the other difference is loading times. That's the other huge difference. That's the biggest difference I could find between them. There are differences in the way they drive, subtleties, but they're so minimal compared to the braking and the loading times. The loading times is number 1. It's the biggest difference. And I have a unique way of timing loading times. What I do is I always keep a guitar, you can just see it over there, handy, next to my rig for loading times. And I see how many bars of a 12-bar blues I can get through until the track's loaded. So I'll show you those loading times now, but stick around after that because there's something really special coming up. Here's the loading times. Okay, start loading. Come on, automobilista, don't you wanna load? Come on, automobilista, don't you wanna load? And it's loaded. Didn't even get through a full 12 bars there. Excellent, right. Okay, start loading. Come on, composizione, don't you wanna load? Oh, it's done already. There we go. What was that, about 3 bars? Nowhere near a 12 bar. Right, let's get loading. Come on, R Factor, don't you wanna load? Come on, R Factor, don't you wanna load? To that same old place, sweet home Nuremberg. Come on, R Factor really doesn't want to load. Well, come on, R Factor, don't you wanna load to that same old place, sweet home Nuremberg. 24 bars? How long? Well, this is winning so far on the longest loading time. To that same old place, Nuremberg. Come on! Ah, finally! Bloody heck, R Factor! It's always worth it for these lovely laser scan tracks. Right, folks, so there we go. R Factor 2 has got the longest loading times in the world. Haven't I just told you something you didn't already know? And you thought that was going to be a serious sim racing video. In all seriousness, if anyone would like me to redo the R Factor test, I've still got all the footage from AMS2 and ACC, and I will, if you want me to do it, tell me so on my YouTube channel. Make a comment on the video, and I will redo that footage and show you the tests. But yeah, the biggest difference between all three of the sims is the loading times. But I love R Factor, and I love AMS2, and I love ACC. I love all of them. LFS, GTR2, oh god, you know, Wreckfest. I'll get slanted for saying it's not a sim. Yes it is. No it's not. I love them all. So anyway, yeah, I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. There's been a lot of negativity floating about, and I think we've had a great year for sim racing. We really have. I mean, Christ almighty, history was made this year with the Le Mans, wasn't it? 24-hour Le Mans online. and thank you to Reader Studios for all the hard work you're doing. For all the faults the game's got. I think it's bloody brilliant. I'm having a great time. And Studio 397 and your long loading times. And ACC and the fact that the tyre model only just up to scratch or whatever you think. Oh, and by the way, if you want to enjoy this year by griping about stuff, here's something new to gripe about. You can whinge and complain and moan about how crap my video is and say how wrong I am about stuff. I'm very wrong. Anyway, the really special bit that I wanted to leave you lot with, please watch this, because it's you'll only get this if you're a sim racer, and you only get how happy I was about this if you're a sim racer, and it should make you guys happy as well. Now, with all the stuff that's been going on with this thread, I've been having a great time recently with the Ballista 2. There was a point where I wasn't, and this goes for any sim. So, my mate Pete, who I mentioned at the start of the video, he's for the last few days, you know, I can't race with him online in Ballista 2 because he hates it. He did used to like it, and now he hates it because of the new update and everything else. And we found one very simple thing. He told me what his problems were, and so I went and tested out because I was having a great time. I couldn't understand, you know, he had, like a lot of people have said, their problems after the last new update. And so I went and did some tests for him. In fact, I spent a good 45 minutes making a video for him of me consistently testing one car for 10 laps, and sent him the video. And then he's just, I was gutted when I lost all of this R Factor footage. I've spent hours putting this video together for you buggers out there, so you better watch it. And he called me after I'd lost all of this. Hang on, I'm busy. That's my fam. I've got to go and spend time with them, so I've got to wrap this up. That's why I can't show you the rest of that footage. I'll do it another time. It's New Year's. He managed to change a few settings. Hang on, I'm busy. He managed to change a few settings, and he's come back to me with this phone call, and he was having a terrible time with AMS2, and within 40 minutes he come back to me. Well, he's come back to me, and now he's having a great time. So if you're having a bad time with it, or any sim, look at your settings. Look at your settings. You'll understand when you watch this video. And I tell you what, you can have a sim, any sim, for years and absolutely hate it. And then one day you change one setting and suddenly the whole thing opens up. Anyway, I've got to go. My folks are waiting. It's New Year's. Happy New Year's. I'm going to leave you with that phone call that cheered me right up after I lost this footage. Have a great 2021. I'll see you in it. And all the best. Bye. Yeah.
The detail that I like is not, and it just looked shit, and it sort of, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It just wasn't smooth and running and as it should do, which was the reason why I struggled with the car. It's like as I was permanently, I was lagging. I was sort of like lagging two behind. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. And also, if you
my inputs were far behind the car.
Yeah. And your brakes were just coming on like a stack of bricks.
Yeah.
So literally a little change of setup, and it's now feeling.
Yeah, perfect. I tried to make all the alterations by lowering the brake pressure and stuff like that. The weird thing was that didn't cure it.
Yeah. If your brakes on.
Because you had the same problem, and you was moaning about it as well. And we talked about this before, and I'd forgotten all about it. So yeah. Every time we start the game, calibrate the pedals.
Yeah. I never need to recalibrate my pedals. That's one thing I don't need to do. I don't know why you're having to do it, but then again we've got different wheels, so and pedals.
It's only recalibrating it in game.
Yeah, no, I never have to do that anymore.
Maybe if you try it, you might get a different feel.
Yeah, maybe I will try that actually. That's not. You know what? I'm going to try that when I boot it up. But I'm not having a braking problem with it at the moment. In fact, I've just exemplified that in the video I've just made. I've found out.
It'd be interesting just if you recalibrate and do a couple of laps.
Yeah.
And then go recalibrate it and see what it's like.
Well,
Interesting, that.
I'll tell you what. Let me get this video edited and get all the bits together. I'll get it out. I'm going to post it on Race Department as well as my YouTube. And Pete, I've got to tell you, mate. I am so pleased. You've literally gone from hating it to going, oh, brilliant. I'm so pleased you're having a good time with it now.
It's yeah. I would try some of the other cars. Because my thing that I like is the single seaters, which is the reason I liked it so much, right from the very, very start. Because I like the single seater, old Formula cars, and all that sort of stuff. The last time I tried the racing, one of the real old cars, it was so bad. I just didn't know with it.
Do you know?
I didn't try that again.
Do you know what? There was a fella asking in the thread on Race Department about Automobilista 2, is it worth buying now? I tried it when it first came out, and although I did really enjoy the V10s and the single seaters, some of the other cars felt a bit dull, and I just haven't tried it since then. Should I buy it? And I just said yeah. But a lot of people said yes. It's and he really liked the single seaters, and I've tried them, and I really like them as well. The F3s and stuff. So it's funny you said that.
If anyone's having trouble with it, make sure they calibrate their brakes within go. That's the thing that, and stop the fact that stop it from wobbling around and hit the legacy thing of zero everything. Yeah, fucking horrible.
Yeah, no, putting the legacy camera on is definitely a must.
Yeah.
Pete, whilst we've been talking, I've got my webcam on, so it's picked up this conversation. Well, it should have picked up this conversation. Would you mind if I use this in the video for everyone?
Of course you can.
Is that all right?
Or if you wanted to redo it, you could do it online on Discord while you're going around the track.
No, I'd rather people hear just your reaction. So that's a couple of changes, and well, I mean, how would you say you honestly felt about it a couple of hours ago? You hated it, didn't you?
I say it's fine now. It's fine. But yeah.
Right, I'm so chuffed because that's just opened the game up for you. It's like me when I went for a period of going everything feels wrong, and I hadn't got my steering input set up right.
And I disagreed with you as well. I said it was brilliant. If you remember at the time.
Yeah. Oh mate, this is just, it feels, this is a nice thing with sort of.
Give us a shout as I've got in a bit. I'll go around the track with you.
All right, mate. Look,
take the GT3s round wherever we were yesterday. Not Severine or whatever it was called, Kailami.
Kailami.
Just a British train.
Donington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just do racing GT3 round Donington. It's absolutely brilliant.
Oh, mate, I'm so chuffed to hear that.
Okay, mate. Speak to you later.
All right, mate. Yeah, I'll get this video out. All right, I'll speak to you in a bit. Bye.